The reason is because it's kind of written about, this song's kind of written about us. So, this is how the story starts. I'm just like, you know what, I'm just still on my great grandmother, I can't help it. Okay, Lindsey Buckingham lived in San Francisco his whole life. He grew up there and went to school. He's a year younger than me, so he was a junior and I was a senior. When he was a junior, my parents got transferred up to San Francisco from LA. So I went into school as a senior. I went to a party one night and I met, well, I didn't really meet Lindsey, but he was singing a song. He was sitting on a chair and he was singing a song, California Dreamin'. Of course I knew him. So I walked out brazenly and without being, invited, burst into song and started singing the song. Luckily, I did a pretty good job because he didn't say stop. So anyway, I walked away and then I never saw or heard from Lindsey again for 2 years. And 2 years later, at the end of my second year of college, I got a phone call from a very friendly voice on the other end of the phone. His name was Bob. And Bob said, so, I'm in a band with Lindsey Buckingham and 2 other guys, and it's a really good band, and would you like to join our band? And I'm like, well, what kind of band is it? And he said, well, it's a rock and roll band. And slightly sarcastically, he said, we live in San Francisco, it's 1968. It's like, the best of the best music artists, they're all here right now. And yes, it's a rock and roll band. And I'm like, yes! So I'm in. Next thing I know, I'm in practice at Lindsey's house. And of course, where does he live? Right down the street. For 2 years, I never knew he was there, never saw him, obviously never walked around the neighborhood. So I'm in this band, and this is a really good band. And we are opening for all the really big bands in San Francisco, which were many, and many, many concerts, and it was fantastic. It was probably, if we look back on it, maybe the second best part of our whole lives. And you want to know what the first best part is, don't you? But I won't. So anyway, let's just put it this way. It was fantastic. And I heard this rumor that there was a store in downtown San Francisco where all the rock and roll women went to buy their fantastic rock and roll clothes. So since I was making money, I saved my money and I buzzed up there and I found a store, and it was called the Velvet Underground. I was intrigued. Intrigued as I was, I get up there, I walk in, the store is not what I expected. It's tiny, it's like the size of this spotlight, a little bit bigger, had a hand-painted floor, it was very beautiful, beautiful things hanging everywhere, and being a practical girl, I knew that there was nothing in this store I could possibly afford. However, I knew that I was also standing probably in exactly the same place that Janis Joplin stood. And Grace Slick. And many others that I can't even remember tonight, but there were others. So I kind of had a premonition at that moment, and I thought, you know what? There's going to be a day when I'm going to walk in this store, and I'm going to be able to take anything I want off the rack, and I'm going to be able to buy it without even looking at the price tag. And it's going to happen, and it's coming. And so I was kind of able to turn around and walk out empty-handed, knowing that my dream was happening. And it was happening. And what I saw, basically, was Chris and Mick and Lindsey and John and Fleetwood Mac and the incredible, huge success that we had not that long after that. So the reason I'm telling you this story is because I want you to know that in this insanely crazy world that we live in, if you have something that you do that you love, my mom said, life is long. Find something you want to do and love what you do, because otherwise you're going to be bored stiff for the rest of your life. So if you have something that you love, if you're old or young or middle-aged, whatever it is, you love it, don't let anybody get in your way and tell you you can't have it, because that's crap. You can have anything you want. You just have to reach up and get that star. And you need to go back to the Velvet Underground and stay there. So I'm back to the Velvet Underground. Back to the floor that I love. Back to a room with some lace and some paper flowers. Back to the Gypsy that I love. So I'm back to the velvet sound